And I'm here to help you make that shout. How am I going to do that? I'm going to give you some information that you can use in helping shape your own opinions about what's going on in Iraq. Why we should go to war or why we shouldn't go to war. I don't want you to sit here now and nod dumbly at everything I'm going to say and say, yeah, we agree with you, Scott. That's not how it works. That's what we do down south when the president speaks. Yes, Mr. President. Okay? That's not how it works, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to challenge you with some ideas, with some facts. And then at the end, you're going to challenge me and hold me accountable for what I say, because that's called a dialogue. That's called a discussion. That is the basis of a debate which empowers people with information and knowledge. We need to start having a debate about Iraq. A debate. You need to instruct the American people how to wage a debate. We're going to war with Iraq. Why? Because we're told Iraq represents a clear and present risk to international peace and security. And that clear and present risk is quantified in the form of Iraqi weapons of mass destruction, chemical weapons, biological weapons, nuclear weapons, and long-range ballistic missiles. We're told that Iraq, as a state sponsor of terror, is in alliance with those forces of terror who perpetrated the events, the horrific events of September 11th, 2001, and we are told that Iraq, because it possesses weapons of mass destruction, will turn this capability over to the terrorists, who will then strike the United States in a similar fashion, but this time the results will make September 11th pale in comparison. And I have to tell you, if you take this at face value, it's a very frightening thing. A very frightening thing. And the American public, scared after September 11, 2001, fearful of the future, accepts this analysis and thereby empowers the President of the United States to wage war in their name. The problem? None of this is true. None of this is true. Weapons of mass destruction. Let's put it in proper perspective here. What is a weapon of mass destruction? A nuclear weapon, I think we can accept as a weapon of mass destruction. You know what else is a weapon of mass destruction? The United States Marine Corps Rifle Company with an unlimited supply of ammunition. That's a weapon of mass destruction. I can guarantee you that a Marine Corps Rifle Company will kill more Iraqis, more human beings, than Iraqi chemical weapons or biological weapons or Iraqi ballistic missiles. But we use the term weapon of mass destruction as part of the politics of fear and ignorance. When I say weapon of mass destruction, you immediately conjure up visions of dead cities, millions of people dying. No. Weapon of mass destruction is a nuclear weapon. Iraq never had a nuclear weapon. Iraq sought to acquire the capability, but they never developed a nuclear weapon. Iraq had chemical weapons. They used them against Iran, against their own population. Iraq had biological weapons, which they put into bombs and warheads and threatened their neighbors, including Israel, with these weapons. Iraq had ballistic missiles, which they used to rain death and destruction down on civilian populations in Iran, in Saudi Arabia, and in Israel. They had all of these weapons. And Iraq is also at the head of, or the leader of Iraq, is a gentleman named Saddam Hussein, one of the most brutal, tyrannical dictators in modern times. I'm not here to speak up in defense of Saddam Hussein. I despise Saddam Hussein. I went to war against Saddam Hussein, and I would go to war again against Saddam Hussein. He is an evil man, a horrific man, and the world needs to find a way to deal with him. The international community in 1991 found that Iraq, especially the Iraq of Saddam Hussein, possessing weapons of mass destruction, chemical weapons, biological weapons, nuclear weapons, and long-range ballistic missiles, represented a clear and present risk to international peace and security, and therefore mandated under Chapter 7 of the United Nations Charter that these weapons be eliminated. And they created a special commission of inspectors to go into Iraq and oversee the disarming of Iraq's weapons of mass destruction.